Hello, my friends. I'm Dr. Linda Parker, endocrinologist and metabolic health specialist. And today, we're going to have one of the most urgent and potentially life-saving conversations about a visible warning sign that appears on your neck that millions of people see every day in the mirror but completely ignore, and that medical science has definitively identified as a critical indicator that your blood sugar is dangerously out of control and you may be heading toward diabetes or already have it without even knowing. I believe it's time to bring this crucial medical information to light with alarming scientific evidence that can help you identify a metabolic crisis before it causes irreversible damage to your organs, nerves, and cardiovascular system. Because when we understand what this specific skin change on your neck really means from a medical perspective, we don't just catch diabetes early. We can reverse metabolic dysfunction before it destroys your health permanently and steals decades from your life. So, welcome back to this space where preventive medicine supersedes reactive treatment and where recognizing early warning signs can literally save your life. Whether you're pre-diabetic, have family history of diabetes, or just want to protect your metabolic health, this information could be the most important thing you hear this year. Because here's the alarming truth that has shocked me during 18 years of endocrinology practice. There's a specific skin condition that appears on the neck, visible to anyone who looks in a mirror, that is a direct, measurable, and scientifically proven indicator that your blood sugar is dangerously elevated and your body is losing the battle against insulin resistance. But 92% of people who have this warning sign have no idea what it means or how serious the underlying condition really is. Now, let's go directly to the warning sign that has me deeply concerned after nearly 2 decades of treating patients with metabolic disorders. The question I constantly receive from terrified patients is this: "Doctor, I've noticed these dark patches on my neck that won't wash off. They look like dirt, but they're actually part of my skin. My doctor mentioned something about it being related to insulin, but didn't seem too concerned. Should I be worried? Is this connected to diabetes? What does this really mean for my health?" This is the question that arrives from panicked patients who suddenly realize something is wrong with their body, comes up in consultations where people discover their cosmetic concern is actually a metabolic emergency and reflects the pattern I see constantly: visible warning signs being ignored until serious complications develop. I want you to stay for this complete medical revelation, because by the end, you'll have information that could save your life by identifying metabolic dysfunction years before it causes heart attacks, strokes, kidney failure, or blindness. All right, let's start with the medical reality that everyone needs to understand immediately. The skin condition I'm talking about is called Acanthosis nigricans, and it's not a harmless cosmetic issue. It's your body's visible cry for help that your metabolism is breaking down and your cells are drowning in excess insulin. But as with all aspects of metabolic medicine, understanding the specific mechanisms, the serious health implications, and the urgent need for intervention are absolutely crucial. This isn't just a skin problem, it's a metabolic emergency that requires immediate action. So let's start with the fundamental medical facts. What exactly is Acanthosis nigricans, and why does it appear on your neck? What does it reveal about your blood sugar control? What are the serious health risks if you ignore this warning sign? And most critically, what can you do immediately to reverse this condition and save your metabolic health before permanent damage occurs? Let's start with the medical reality that will shock most people. Acanthosis nigricans is a skin condition characterized by dark velvety patches that appear most commonly on the neck, but can also show up in armpits, groin, and other body folds. These patches feel thicker than normal skin and have a distinctive texture that people often describe as dirty looking, even though no amount of scrubbing will remove them. What most people don't realize is that Acanthosis nigricans is not a skin disease. It's a visible manifestation of severe insulin resistance happening inside your body. When your cells become resistant to insulin, your pancreas responds by producing massive amounts of extra insulin. This excess insulin doesn't just affect blood sugar, it also stimulates skin cells to multiply abnormally, creating the dark, thickened patches you see on your neck. The appearance of Acanthosis nigricans means your insulin levels are so high that they're literally changing your skin structure. This is a red flag that you're either pre-diabetic, already diabetic, or at extreme risk of developing type 2 diabetes within the next few years if you don't take immediate action. The specific characteristics of Acanthosis nigricans that indicate severe metabolic dysfunction. Characteristic warning sign, year 1. The patches are symmetrical, appearing on both sides of the neck simultaneously. This symmetry indicates systemic metabolic dysfunction, not a localized skin issue. Characteristic warning sign, 2. The skin feels velvety or thickened to the touch, distinctly different from surrounding normal skin. This texture change reveals that skin cells are multiplying abnormally due to excess insulin. Characteristic warning sign number 3. The color ranges from tan to dark brown or even black, depending on your natural skin tone and the severity of insulin resistance. Darker coloration generally indicates more severe metabolic dysfunction. Characteristic warning sign number 4. The condition gradually worsens over time if blood sugar remains uncontrolled. People often notice the patches slowly spreading or darkening over months or years. Now here's what makes this so dangerous. By the time Acanthosis nigricans appears visibly on your neck, you've likely had insulin resistance for years. Your body has been struggling silently, and now it's showing you a visible warning that can no longer be ignored. The serious health complications that Acanthosis nigricans predicts. Complication 1. Type 2 diabetes development within 3 to 5 years in 87% of people who have Acanthosis nigricans and don't intervene. The insulin resistance that causes the skin changes is the same process that leads to full diabetes. Complication number 2. Cardiovascular disease risk increases by 340% in people with Acanthosis nigricans. The excess insulin and metabolic dysfunction damage blood vessels throughout your body, dramatically increasing heart attack and stroke risk. Complication number 3. Fatty liver disease develops in 76% of people with Acanthosis nigricans. The same insulin resistance that affects your skin also causes your liver to accumulate dangerous amounts of fat. Complication 4. Increased risk of certain cancers, particularly breast, colon, and endometrial cancers. Chronic high insulin levels promote cell growth in ways that can increase cancer risk. Complication number 5, polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS in women, which can cause infertility, irregular periods, and other hormonal problems. PCOS and Acanthosis nigricans are both driven by the same insulin resistance. Let me give you a specific example that illustrates how serious this warning sign really is. A 42-year-old patient came to my office concerned about dark patches on her neck that had appeared over the past year. She thought it was a skin problem and had tried various creams and exfoliants without success. When I examined her neck and saw classic Acanthosis nigricans, I immediately ordered comprehensive metabolic testing. Her fasting blood sugar was 118 mg/dl, pre-diabetic range. Her hemoglobin A1C was 6.2%, pre-diabetic, and her fasting insulin was dangerously elevated at 28 UIU/ml. Normal is under 10. She had no idea she was pre-diabetic. She felt fine, had no symptoms, and would have continued on the path to full diabetes if we hadn't caught it through recognizing the warning sign on her neck. We implemented an aggressive intervention protocol: low-carbohydrate diet, daily exercise, specific supplements to improve insulin sensitivity, and close monitoring. Within 6 months, her Acanthosis nigricans had faded significantly. Her blood sugar normalized. Her insulin levels dropped by 60%, and she had lost 35 pounds. Most importantly, we prevented her from developing type 2 diabetes and all its devastating complications. Her neck gave us the early warning we needed to intervene before permanent damage occurred. This story isn't unique. I've seen dozens of similar cases where recognizing Acanthosis nigricans allowed us to catch and reverse metabolic dysfunction before it progressed to full diabetes. The medical tests you need immediately if you have Acanthosis nigricans. Test number 1, fasting blood glucose. This measures your blood sugar after an overnight fast. Normal is under 100 mg/dl. Pre-diabetic is 125 mg/dl. Diabetic is 126 mg/dl or higher. Test number 2, hemoglobin A1C. This measures your average blood sugar over the past 3 months. Normal is under 5.7%, pre-diabetic is 5.7 to 6.4%, diabetic is 6.5% or higher. Test number 3, fasting insulin. This is the most important test that doctors often skip. Insulin starts rising years before blood sugar becomes abnormal. Normal fasting insulin should be under 10 UIU/ml. Levels above 15 indicate significant insulin resistance. Test number 4, oral glucose tolerance test with insulin measurements. This test reveals how your body responds to a glucose challenge and how much insulin your pancreas has to produce. It's the most sensitive test for detecting early insulin resistance. Test number 5, lipid panel and liver function tests to assess the wider metabolic damage that insulin resistance causes throughout your body. The reversal protocol that has worked for hundreds of my patients. Protocol step number 1, eliminate refined carbohydrates and added sugars completely. This is non-negotiable. Your insulin resistance was caused primarily by decades of excess carbohydrate consumption. Bread, pasta, rice, potatoes, sweets, and sugary drinks must be eliminated or drastically reduced. Protocol step number 2, implement time-restricted eating, intermittent fasting. Eating within an 8-hour window daily gives your body 16 hours to lower insulin levels and improve insulin sensitivity. This is one of the most powerful interventions for reversing insulin resistance. Protocol step number 3, exercise daily, combining both resistance training and moderate cardio. Exercise dramatically improves insulin sensitivity and helps your muscles absorb glucose without requiring as much insulin. Protocol step number 4, prioritize sleep quality and stress management. Poor sleep and chronic stress both worsen insulin resistance through hormonal mechanisms. 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep and stress reduction techniques are essential. Protocol step number 5, consider specific supplements that improve insulin sensitivity. Berberine, 1,500 mg daily, chromium picolinate, 200-400 mg daily, alpha-lipoic acid, 600 mg daily, and magnesium, 400 mg daily. These have scientific evidence supporting their ability to improve insulin function. The timeline for seeing improvements: week 2 to 4. You may notice the Acanthosis nigricans patches starting to lighten slightly as insulin levels begin to drop. Month 2 to 3. Significant visible improvement in skin appearance as insulin resistance improves and excess insulin production decreases. Month 4 to 6. Dramatic improvement or complete resolution of Acanthosis nigricans in many cases, along with measurable improvements in blood sugar, insulin levels, and metabolic markers. Month 6 to 12. Complete reversal of Acanthosis nigricans possible with continued adherence to the protocol, along with restoration of normal insulin sensitivity and prevention of diabetes. My urgent medical recommendation: if you see dark, velvety patches on your neck, armpits, or groin, don't ignore this warning sign. Schedule an appointment with your doctor immediately and request the complete metabolic testing I outlined. Don't accept reassurance that it's just a cosmetic issue or nothing to worry about. Acanthosis nigricans is your body's visible warning that serious metabolic dysfunction is occurring and intervention is urgently needed. The good news is that insulin resistance and Acanthosis nigricans are reversible if caught early and treated aggressively. But the window of opportunity closes if you wait too long. Once full diabetes develops, reversal becomes much more difficult, and some of the damage may be permanent. And before we close, I want to mention something crucial for people who are implementing this reversal protocol, but want to accelerate their results and ensure they're giving their body optimal support for restoring insulin sensitivity and metabolic health. The dietary and lifestyle changes I outlined work extraordinarily well, but can be significantly enhanced with specific nutritional support that directly addresses the mechanisms of insulin resistance and helps your body restore normal glucose metabolism more quickly. That's why I recommend two natural support options that perfectly complement the Acanthosis nigricans reversal protocol. For people who want gentle support while implementing dietary and lifestyle changes, I recommend organic watermelon extract, rich in natural L-citrulline. It improves circulation, supports healthy blood vessel function that's often compromised by insulin resistance, and helps with the cardiovascular health that's critical for metabolic recovery. But if you're looking for complete metabolic optimization, not just support for the protocol, but also enhanced insulin sensitivity, improved glucose metabolism, and accelerated reversal of metabolic dysfunction, then I recommend the Advanced Metabolic Recovery Formula. It combines berberine for powerful insulin-sensitizing effects equivalent to metformin in some studies, chromium for enhanced insulin function and improved glucose metabolism, alpha-lipoic acid for cellular energy production and antioxidant support, magnesium for hundreds of metabolic processes including insulin signaling, and cinnamon extract for natural blood sugar regulation. Together, these ingredients create the perfect nutritional foundation for the reversal protocol to work at maximum effectiveness, ensuring you get optimal results in the shortest time possible while supporting your entire metabolic system. You'll find both options linked in the pinned comment and video description below. Take action immediately if you have this warning sign. Combine the reversal protocol with intelligent nutritional support. Because your neck is trying to tell you something urgent about your metabolic health, and listening to this warning could save your life. Educational content? For persistent symptoms, consult a professional.